Hey folks, welcome. Here we discuss real stories by real people. Today we have the story of a man who finds out his wife has been cheating on him with her ex. Let's see how it goes. Story 1. I, 35 male, and my wife, 33, had been living happily. We had a nice home and a toddler whom we loved so much. You see, our family was not perfect, but we were close to it. As every other couple did, my wife and I had misunderstandings sometimes, but we always settled our differences in no time. Thoughts of her cheating on me were off my radar. What would have made me think that my hard-working wife was cheating on me with her ex? You see, she worked as a PA to a figurehead in a big company. As part of her job, she was required to travel for business meetings and other events in place of her boss. It was a nice job with handsome remuneration, and she loved it. At one point, she began to travel more frequently. She told me she was taking on more of those out-of-state meetings to curry favor with her boss. She hoped he would give her a promotion after a while, and then she would no longer have to travel that much. It was a reasonable motive, and I assured her she would get her desired result. Everything was going smoothly until one cold day in February. She had to travel again, but this time she had to be away for a longer period. She claimed she and her team were assigned to seal a difficult deal with a foreign company, and it would take long to convince them. I was just telling her how much I would miss her when our son's cry rang out through the baby monitor. She hurriedly ran to his room to check on him. While she was away, I decided to do something I knew she would love. I opened her phone and made a video about how much I loved her. Her gallery and camera were two of her most used apps, so I was sure she would see the video. When I was done, I decided to view her photos. She had a knack for taking gorgeous selfies. While I was about to tap her photo app, I accidentally opened her text message, and the first message I saw was from one Bob the Love. Curious about who he might be, I opened the message and began to go through it. There were messages of appreciation for the good time he and, you won't believe this, my lovely wife spent together. No, they weren't normal messages from a colleague thanking another colleague. They sounded too intimate. I checked the last message. It had come in that morning. He talked about how he couldn't wait to spend a whole week with my wife and that he wished I was out of the picture, so he could spend every day with her. I looked up to watch her through the baby monitor. She had our son in her lap and was tickling him. They were both laughing, but all I could hear was her laughter. All I could think of was how she had deceived me. All those talks of work travels were all shams. All those kisses and "I'll miss you" speeches, lies and deceptions. I didn't want to confront her. I was scared I would raise my voice and then frighten our son. So I chose to do something else. I rushed to the closest supermarket, and when I returned, she was already waiting for me by the door. She asked me why I left the house without informing her. I gave her an apologetic smile and asked about our son's whereabouts. She told me he was playing in his room, so I went up to get her luggage and helped her put it in her trunk. Just before she got into her car, she kissed me and told me not to miss her too much. I smiled and handed her a small parcel. She asked me what it was, and I told her to open it. She did, and she brought out the bottle of birth control pills and the packet of condoms. I could see the fear in her eyes. She tried to laugh it off, but I wasn't done with her. I told her I figured she needed to take extra caution to not get pregnant with her lover. Or worse still, get an infection from him. With a smile, I explained to her that I wouldn't like to get an STI just because my wife was cheating on me. Her mouth dropped open in shock. When she finally composed herself, she launched into a long story about how she didn't know what came over her. She begged me to forgive her for the sake of our son, that she would end her illicit relationship. She took her phone and made a call to Bob the Love to inform him their relationship was over. But I couldn't care less. Anyway, I pretended to forgive her. I feigned annoyance for a bit, and after a while, I gave in to her insane plea. How could she tell me to overlook her infidelity? Was that something anyone could do easily? She stopped traveling but continued going to work. I wasn't sure if she was really working or cheating on me, but that was not my business. I plotted my leave, and 2 weeks later, while she was at work, I disappeared with my son. I had blocked my number so she couldn't reach me. After 3 days of keeping her worried sick about our whereabouts, she heard from me through my lawyer. I asked her to sign the divorce paper and also sign off our son's primary custody right to me. As I expected, she refused. She begged me to forgive her and not break up our marriage. She suggested we go see a therapist, that she was sure we could fix our marriage. The thing was, I didn't want the marriage anymore. I didn't want her anywhere around me. When she continued to insist that she wouldn't sign the paper, I told her I would drag her through the courts and tell the world that she cheated on me. She valued her image more than anything in the world, so she had no choice but to agree. She signed the paper and signed off primary rights to me. Now she pays me child support monthly. I don't need her money, but I won't stop collecting it. I've been stashing away the money in a trust fund for my son, which I would relinquish to him when he turns 18. She only gets to see our son during weekends, holidays, and birthdays, and every one of those times she begs me to let her back into my life. What a joke our lives have turned into. I'm so freaking angry at my ex for doing this to me and my son. I hope all the bad things will find her in life. I'm sorry this happened to your marriage, OP. Your ex-wife threw it all away. And I don't blame you for not wanting to go for therapy or counseling to try and save the marriage. After all, your wife already decided her pleasure and fleeting euphoria were much more important to her than the home she was building with you. You still sound hurt, and I know letting go and forgetting everything that happened wouldn't be easy or happen quickly. But I hope you soon find your peace. Keep taking care of your boy. I wish you both the best. Story 2. About a month ago, my other half told me she didn't want to be in our relationship anymore. The next day, she went back and apologized for what she said. She was spending every Friday, Saturday around a friend's house instead of with me and our 3 kids. Later found out this was a lie. She had booked to go on a 3-night holiday with the kids to see some family of hers, and she said I shouldn't go, just so we could have some time to think alone. Fast forward a week after the holiday, and my youngest daughter, aged 5, tells me there was another man with them on the holiday. I approach my other half about this and says she took him along as a friend, but ended up sleeping together, but says it meant nothing. The next week, I'm completely broken. But for some reason, I still want us to work out. She then says she wants this all to work out and finally tells me the full story a week after telling me the part story. She then told me that it wasn't a one-off and she had been seeing him for the past month or so, but nothing since the return from holiday. She says there were feelings involved and that they had both said that they loved each other. Fortunately, we aren't married yet. She said she had planned to tell me and spoke with her mother about the situation the day before I found out. She also says that she realized she didn't want to pursue anything with him after the holiday as it didn't feel right. She says she wished I was there the whole time. The reasoning in her head behind it all was that she thought it was already over between us. She says she wants us to work but feels like she's gone too far. Maybe that is the case, but I'm struggling to let her go. She now says she has broken it off completely with this coworker friend and has no feelings towards him, but I just don't know how to feel about it all, as I don't believe these feelings would just disappear. I've currently got 3 weeks off work looking after the kids, so my mind has gone into complete overdrive, and the mental images are disturbing me so much. Is there any way this will get better, or should I just go? I still really want to work things out, but I feel like I'd be scarred for life. I also have zero appetite right now, and I'm going days without eating. Sleeping is very random and hard now. I can also barely look at her without the images flashing before me. OP, you desperately need to separate from her to get your emotions under control again. Sit down with her and tell her that you want to find a custody arrangement for the next 4 weeks so that you both can spend time with the kids and then look for a different place to sleep and process what she did. She already left you, played family with the other guy, and only when she found out that he isn't as great as she thought he was did she return to you. But since he is still her coworker, he'll still be a part of her life, and it's only a matter of time before they get back to where they were before. Get tested for STDs. Don't touch her again unless she shows you a clear STD and pregnancy test. Talk to a lawyer to find out if she can take the kids away from you and what you can do to protect your rights as their father. You are worth so much more than what she's giving you and putting you through. Now for some comments. Stick to co-parenting with her and don't marry her. A month ago, she told you she doesn't love you. This part is the truth. She will continue to use you if you allow it. She doesn't want you to move on. Certainly, she would like you to continue to support her financially while she fools around. She hasn't told you the full story, and you will never get it from her. If she still is working with her coworker, she's still involved with him. As you say, feelings don't just disappear. Let her go and start dating. Restrict communication with her. Talk only about your child and childcare. Cut every other topic short or don't answer. Here's the truth according to me. He went on holiday and they planned to become something. He decided he did not want kids because he probably never had the kids around when they effed. Her monkey branch broke, now you're good enough again. I can almost guarantee you that she'll still be casually effing him. Do not stay for the kids. See a lawyer to get the best custody deal possible. But there's just no coming back properly from this betrayal. The kids will suffer because of the animosity. Research the 180 and Grey Rock method. See which one you prefer. Get tested for STDs, separate your finances, and pay only what you need to for the kids. She can get the AP to support her. Keep in mind, she chose this route, not you. This was her wish, to ruin your relationship. Sorry, but if you try to reconcile your future partnership marriage to this venomous snake, it will hold no benefit for anyone. Your children will be psychologically damaged. You'll have nothing but pain and anger, and even she will be assured that her plan works. But she needs to find another target at your expense. She has some seriously deep and evil intentions. Try to come to an amicable co-parenting agreement with her. Maybe your mother-in-law can help. If you cannot, then go for full exclusive custody. Despite the mantra chanter's views, there can be cases where one good parent is best for the children. Make it exclusive if you can. She is seriously poisonous to vulnerable children. Don't let her contagion spread. My strongest advice is to leave her now. Then go start a new life, keep busy, and spend as much of your spare time helping others as you can. You can and will become whole again, but with someone else. Be lucky.